Dear student, I hope all of you got the new social science textbook for grade 6, isn't it? So the textbook itself is named as Exploring Society, India and Beyond. So we are today discussing about the first chapter of this textbook. Okay. So you just keep your textbook with you. When I am taking the class, you just underline whatever important. Okay. So today we are discussing about the first chapter. Before that, if you are just to go through the content, there are 5 themes. Okay, 5 themes: theme A, theme B, theme C, theme D, and theme E. First theme, that is theme A, given as India and the world, land and people. So that particular theme containing 3 chapters. First one is locating places on the earth, and second one is oceans and continents, and the third one is landforms and life. Okay, so today we will discuss about the first chapter in the theme A, that is locating places on the earth. We are directly starting the chapter 1, that is locating places on the earth. So before going to the chapter, we need an understanding why we are studying this chapter, isn't it? You may be heard about the Statue of Liberty, isn't it? Statue of Liberty is basically in America. Okay, so we can just find out the exact location of the Statue of Liberty. How do we find out? So do you have any idea? We can find out using a globe, isn't it? Now we can learn how. You can see the globe on the screen. Okay, so the Statue of Liberty is marked here. Okay, so we can just zoom. Okay, when you are zooming, you can see many grid lines. Some lines are passing from up to down, some lines are passing from left to right, isn't it? So there are some numbers also, like 70 degree west and 80 degree west, 40 degree north, something like that, isn't it? If you are zooming, we can see that that particular place is New York. Okay, so this particular Statue of Liberty is present in the New York, and the exact location is here. Okay, so that particular location is present inside a particular rectangle, isn't it? By looking this, you can just mark the location. Okay, so that particular line, so for example, above you can see a number 40 degrees, something like that, isn't it? In the right side you can see 74 degrees 2 minutes, something like that, isn't it? We don't need the numbers now. Okay, we can just know that there are some lines which will help us to identify the exact location of a place. Okay, this statue is present just like an island, isn't it? So this is a Statue of Liberty. We can just observe. Okay, we can just observe. As you can see, this is a Statue of Liberty. Okay, you may be find out in the figure, but you may not be find out in like this, isn't it? So as you are seeing now, this is a Statue of Liberty. It is present where? It is present in an island in New York in the USA. Okay, how do we find out this particular Statue of Liberty? As you can see here, we are finding it with the help of globe, isn't it? So to identify a particular place, we are using something called globe. I hope you understand what is the purpose of the globe, isn't it? So the very purpose of the globe is to identify a particular place. Okay, by using some lines and all, we find out the exact location of the Statue of Liberty. Okay, now we can just zoom out to see what are the lines and all. Okay, so we want to look. So obviously we want to learn that, isn't it? Then only we can apply that knowledge. So in this lesson, we will study about how we locating a particular place in the earth. Okay, so that particular thing, location identification. Okay, that is a thing that we are going to study. So I think you got an idea, isn't it? So that is the purpose of this lesson. Okay, so that's very important. So if you understand the purpose, now we can move into the lesson. Chapter 1, locating places on the earth. In the starting itself, there is a quote, isn't it? That particular quote is given by Aryabhatta. Aryabhatta, do you know Aryabhatta? Aryabhatta is a scientist. Okay, he is a scientist from ancient India. He lived in 500 CE. Okay, there is a term we don't know that, isn't it? CE. CE means common era. What is this common era? I will just give an example. Okay, this year is 2024, isn't it? Why it is 2024? Do you ever think like that? Basically, what do you mean by 2024? So we are just taking all the years in a line. Okay, all the years are plotted in a line, and we are taking a point. Okay, so this is a midpoint. Okay, that particular point is the birth of Christ, that is taken as 0. Okay, so the year of birth of Christ is taken as 0, and 2024 means 2024 years after the birth of Christ. Okay, so now we are here, that is 2024. That means 2024 year, 2024 year after birth of the Christ. That is the meaning of 2024. Okay, so common era basically means how many years after the birth of Christ. That is the meaning. Do you understand? Common era means how many years after birth of the Christ. Now you can say 500 CE means what? 500 year after birth of the Christ. Okay, so this is year 500 year after birth of the Christ. That is the meaning of 500 CE. Do you understand? Now we can just read the quote. Okay, the globe of the earth stands in space, made up of water, earth, fire and air, and is spherical. What is he saying? He is saying earth stands in space. Earth is on the space and it is made up of what? Made up of water, earth, fire and air. So these are the components by which earth is made up of. It is surrounded by all creatures, terrestrial as well as aquatic. What do you mean by terrestrial? Terrestrial means those organisms which are living on the land. Okay, that is a terrestrial creatures. And what do you mean by aquatic? Aquatic means what are all organisms living in water. So basically he is saying this earth is made up of water, earth, fire and air. And what is the shape? Shape is almost spherical. Okay, spherical. And it is surrounded by all creatures. So in the earth there are so many creatures. There are some terrestrial creatures, that means there are some organisms in the land as well as in the water. Okay, in the water also there are some organisms. You may be familiar with that, isn't it? There may be shark, there may be small fish. By this quote you can understand that earth is very diverse in nature, isn't it? There will be terrestrial creature, there will be aquatic creature, and it is made up of water, earth, fire and air. This is an ancient belief. Okay, anyway, we can just move forward. There's a map given. This is an ancient map. This map is very old. As you can see, this area is almost India. Okay, we cannot understand the map properly, isn't it? Just below the map there are some questions. Okay, what are the questions? What is a map and how do we use it? So basically this map is a world map, isn't it? You can see different continent and all. This is almost Africa, isn't it? This is North America, this is South America. Okay, then this particular ocean may be Atlantic Ocean, then this may be Pacific Ocean. Okay, then this ocean may be Indian Ocean. Okay, so we will study all these things later. Okay, no problem, don't worry. Okay, we will study everything. Then what are the main components? So there may be some continent, there may be some ocean. Okay, you can see different countries and all, isn't it? What are the coordinates? How can latitude and longitude used to mark any location on the earth? So basically you can see many lines, isn't it? Just to be seen on the globe, there are some lines in this map also, isn't it? Do you observe that? I will show you these lines. Okay, this is one line, this is one line, this is one line. Okay, then there is another line, there is another line. Okay, there are so many lines. Okay, so these lines which are passing from left to right. Okay, left to right, or which are passing parallelly. Okay, these lines are parallel actually. Okay, these lines are called latitude. What is the name? What is the name? Latitude. Here it is given latitude. Okay, then something called longitude. Longitude means there are some line which are passing from up to down. Okay, up to down means something like this. Okay, as you can see, if you are just zoom in, you can see there are some line which are passing from up to down. So this particular line is called longitude. What is the name? What is the name? Longitude. Okay, this is the longitude. These particular lines are helpful in identifying a particular place. We already seen it, isn't it? By using these lines we are identifying the exact location of Statue of Liberty. Like that we can identify any place on the earth using the latitude and the longitude. Now you understand what is the purpose of this particular line, isn't it? Don't worry, we don't know this latitude and longitude before. Okay, so we will study later. Okay, we will study in detail in this chapter. Okay, no problem. You just understand there are some lines and these lines are helpful in locating a particular place in the earth. Okay, that much you want to know. That you understand, isn't it? Now we are giving a situation. Okay, imagine that you are visiting a city for first time. How would you find the places you want to visit? For example, now you are in Mumbai and you want to go to Delhi and visit a particular place, New Delhi. Okay, and you might be asked a local person for help. There may be some person you can ask for help, or you might be look at the map of the city. What do you mean by map? Do you know map? Just an example is given below. Okay, you can see a map here, isn't it? So we can just look out. If you look at the map, you can see something like this, isn't it? That particular thing will help us to find out the direction. Okay, so whatever thing on the upper side, that is a north, and whatever thing on the lower side, that is a south, and whatever thing on the right side, that is a east, and whatever thing on the left, that is a west. Okay, this is how we will find out the direction. I will give some example, then you will understand. Okay, this particular hospital we can take it as a reference point. Okay, so when you are comparing this particular hospital, you can see market is below the hospital, isn't it? So if it is below the hospital, we will say below means south. Okay, so we will say market is on the southern side of the hospital. How do you find? We are just drawing an arrow. Okay, into the market starting from the hospital, then you can identify that particular arrow pointing towards the lower direction. Lower direction means pointing towards the south. So we will say market is present on the southern side of the hospital. Okay, I'll give another example. You just take the Nagar Panchayat. Okay, this is a reference point and you can see some bank here, isn't it? This is a bank. Okay, so we want to find out the direction of the bank with respect to Nagar Panchayat. How do you find? First we want to draw a arrow. Okay, starting from the Nagar Panchayat into the bank, we are drawing an arrow. And that particular arrow is directing towards the right side, isn't it? Right side means what? Right side means east, isn't it? So we will say this particular bank is present on the eastern direction of the Nagar Panchayat. Do you understand? Then we can take another example. Okay, you can see a museum here, isn't it? This is a museum. So we want to find out the direction of the bank with respect to museum. First we find out the direction of the bank with respect to Nagar Panchayat. Now we want to find out the direction with respect to museum. Okay, how do we find? First we want to draw an arrow. Okay, how do we draw? We are starting from the museum. So we want to start from the reference point. Okay, here museum is a reference point. From here we are drawing an arrow. Okay, which is pointing towards the bank. As you can see, that particular arrow is directing upward, isn't it? Upward means what? Upward means north. So we will say bank is present in the northward direction with respect to museum. Do you understand? So we will say bank will present in the northward direction of the museum. I think it's clear, isn't it? Now we can take just a reverse. Okay, we want to find out whether the hospital in which direction with respect to market. Okay, with respect to market, hospital is in which direction? Okay, reverse we already done. So we are taking market as a reference point. This is a reference point. Okay, then from the reference point you want to make an arrow. Okay, pointing towards the hospital. That particular arrow pointing upward, isn't it? That means upward means what? Upward means north. So we can say hospital is present on the northward direction of the market. Okay, in the earlier case we find out the direction of market with respect to hospital. At that time we are drawing the arrow like this, from the hospital towards the market, isn't it? Then we said that particular market is present on the southern side. Southern side means that particular arrow is pointing downward. So we will say downward means what? Downward means south. That particular market is on the southern side of the hospital. Now we are saying that particular hospital is on the northern side of the market. What does it mean? That particular hospital is on the upper side. In the map it is on the upper side. Okay, that particular arrow is directing upward. So that's why we are saying hospital is present on the northward direction of the market. So both the relations are opposite, isn't it? Now we can say another example. We can find out the direction of the school with respect to hospital. Okay, with respect to hospital means we want to take the hospital as a reference point. So what is the first step? From the reference point we are making an arrow. Okay, so this is a arrow. As you know, this is a west, this is a east, this is a south, and this is a north. Okay, so this particular arrow is in between west and south, isn't it? So this particular arrow is in this direction. Okay, in between west and south. So we will say school is present on the southwest direction. Okay, or west south. We will say southwest. Okay, so that particular school is present on the southwest direction of the hospital. Do you understand? Then I will give another example. You can see a railway station here, isn't it? So we want to find out the direction of the railway station with respect to hospital. Okay, so what we will do? First we will draw an arrow from the reference point hospital towards the railway station. So the direction will be like this. Okay, then now we are just marking the direction. Okay, this is north, this is south, this is east, this is west. Okay, this particular railway station is present between the north and west. How? You want to assume a line passing through the reference point. Okay, so just keep the reference point as a central point and connect the north, south, and east, west. Okay, then now we can understand that that particular railway station is present between the north and west. So that particular direction, that means this particular direction we will call northwest. Okay, or west north, both are same. Okay, we can say northwest. Okay, your comfort, northwest. Okay, so we will say railway station is present on the northwest direction of the hospital. Okay, do you understand that? Now we can say one thing more. You can see Nagar Panchayat here. Okay, Nagar Panchayat is here. We want to find out with respect to hospital, Nagar Panchayat is on which direction. Okay, first we want to draw a arrow. That particular arrow starting from the reference point, that is hospital, towards the Nagar Panchayat. So we draw the arrow, and after that we are just comparing the direction. Okay, so this is east and this is north. Okay, that particular arrow is between the north and east, isn't it? So we will say that particular Nagar Panchayat is on the northeast direction. Northeast means between the north and east. that particular direction. Okay, so we will say Nagar Panchayat is on the northeast direction of the hospital. Do you understand? If you understand, I will ask a question. You just comment. Okay, you just comment the answer below. Okay, we want to find out the direction of the Nagar Panchayat with respect to museum. Okay, so museum is a reference point. First mark the reference point, and then we want to draw an arrow from the reference point towards the Nagar Panchayat. Okay, so this is a direction. Now we want to mark the all direction. Okay, with reference to museum, we want to mark the all direction. We are just drawing some line. Okay, how do we draw the line? We are just marking the north, south, east, west of the museum. Okay, then we are connecting the north, south through the museum. Okay, then we are connecting the east and west through the museum. So we want to keep the museum at the center. Okay, like that we are drawing the line. We are connecting the north and south and east and west. Do you understand how do we mark the direction? So just consider the reference point, and in the right side you just mark east, on the left side you are just marking west, and on the upper side you are just marking north, and on the lower side you are just marking south. And you can see this particular Nagar Panchayat is present in which direction? In between which direction? Here it is north. That particular Nagar Panchayat is present between the north and west, isn't it? This particular direction is between the north and west, and then you can say that particular Nagar Panchayat is on dash direction. You just comment. Okay, if you understand the concept, you just comment the answer. Okay, I will verify, then I will reply to the answer. Okay, then I will reply whether it is correct or not. Okay, if you understand the concept, you can easily find out the answer, isn't it? Just try. Even it is wrong, no problem. Okay, just try. Okay, just try your answer and comment below. We can just continue the reading. Okay, we are just familiar with the map, but we can just read the thing. Okay, in the previous grade you learned the little thing about the map, and in this chapter we will study them in detail. So in this particular chapter we will study how to read a map. Okay, how to find out the direction and all. Let us play a game. So this is just a game. Okay, examine the map of a small city and imagine that you are just got off a train at the railway station and you want to visit a bank marked on the map. Okay, so now you are on the railway station, you want to go to the bank. Okay, which way would you go? Are there other possible way? Can you locate the public garden, school and the museum? So you want to go from railway station towards the bank. Okay, so what are the way? I will just draw one way. Okay, so this is a one way. Okay, you can go like this, and we are reaching the bank, isn't it? Then is there any other way? You can just think. Now I am starting from here and we are going like this, and we are just reaching the bank. Okay, now also we are reaching the bank. Is there any other way? If you are starting from here, we can just go like this, and we are reaching the bank. Okay, so you can understand there are various ways by which we can reach out the bank from the railway station, isn't it? There are different ways. Just like there are many ways from your home to school, isn't it? Just like that. Okay, if you want to proceed from bank to the market, which way you will go? So you want to go from bank to the market. Okay, so one way is something like this. Okay, so in this way you can reach at the market. Other ways, you are just starting from here and you are taking a long route. Okay, you are taking a long route and you are reaching the market. Okay, then is there any other way? You can start from here and you are just going like this, and you are taking this long trip. Okay, then you are reaching here. Okay, so there are many different ways by which we can reach out the market from the bank. Okay, locate the public garden, school and the museum. Okay, as you can see, this is a museum. Okay, this is a school, and public garden not mentioned in the picture. Maybe this one. Okay, this may be the public garden. Okay, now you understand what is the purpose of this particular map, isn't it? So if you want to go from one area to another, if you have the map, you can just easily find out, isn't it? Just you can think about yourself. If you are going somewhere, you are just taking the Google map and you are moving with the GPS, isn't it? GPS system, you know, isn't it? Using GPS, you are finding out the location, isn't it? So the very purpose of the map is to find out the exact location of a particular place. Okay, that you understand, isn't it? Now there are some questions. Mark the hospital. So the first one is we want to mark the hospital. Okay, we can just mark together. This is the hospital. We just mark the hospital. Then second question, what is the meaning of the blue colored area? So as you can see, there are some blue colored area. There may be some pond. Okay, there may be some ponds and there may be some river like this. Okay, this particular river is carrying some water and it is flowing into the pond. Okay, then third question is which is farther away from the railway station, school, Nagar Panchayat or public garden? So which is farthest? Okay, which is the longest distance? Which is farthest from the railway station? First we mark the railway station. This is a railway station, and we can mark the school. Okay, one is school and one is Nagar Panchayat, one is public garden. Okay, we can just see school is nearby the railway station, isn't it? This distance is also not much, but this distance is very far, isn't it? So we can say public garden is far away from the railway station. So that is the answer. So the answer of the third question is public garden. Okay, public garden is farther away from the railway station. That you understand, isn't it? Now they are saying form groups of 3 or 4 students each and let each group to draw up a map of your school and some of the street and road that lead to it. So you just want to draw a map, you can do it yourself or with your friends. Okay, you just draw a map and mark the place. Okay, how do we draw a map? First we want to take a paper. Okay, so this is a paper and you just mark the school. Okay, just assume this is a school. Okay, this is a school and you want to mark the roads also. Okay, how do we mark the road? This is one road, this is one road. Okay, this road is passing like this road is passing like this. Okay, then you can just mark the other building. So you just assume there's a building here. Okay, there's a park here. Okay, there's a playground here. Okay, this is a playground, this is a pond. Okay, so you can just mark like this. Okay, as just we see, we want to mark the direction also. Okay, here this is north, this is south, this is east, this is west. Okay, then only the map will complete. Okay, at the end compare all the map and discuss. So whoever the person drawing the map, every map will be look similar. Okay, so that is a conclusion. You can try yourself. You just draw a map, your friend also drawing some map, and your another friend is also drawing a map. Every map will be look similar. Okay, similar means if you are using the same symbol, that particular map will be same. Okay, that is a conclusion. Okay, so I think you get a basic idea what you mean by map, what is the purpose of map, how do you find the direction, what do you mean by north, what do you mean by south, what do you mean by east, west, northeast, southwest, isn't it? Just practice this method. Okay, in the next class we will continue from the map and its component. In that particular portion we will study more about the direction and how to find out the particular direction. We will do more exercise on the next day. Okay, if you understand in the class, you just like the video and you just subscribe the channel. Okay, then you will get the next video. So together we can study and together we can score in the exam. Okay, so if you have any suggestion to my class, you just comment. Okay, then I will reply. Okay, by including your suggestion, I will take the next class. Okay, so today I am concluding. We can meet on the next class. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Wishing a happy day.